I'm Dave. This is the Cyderbaby pod, and today I am joined by the one and only Luke Appleton. Hello, sir.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm okay. You're looking well. You're looking very relaxed.
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, slightly different look now as well.
I know the feeling. Mine's sort of like comb over, but we won't go into too much detail about that. First of all, well, we're here to talk about your new EP, but first of all, I'd like to touch on Blaze Bayley and ask you a little bit about his health.
Yes, so yeah, unfortunately, as you're aware, he suffered a heart attack last week. I think it was last Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was a bit of a shock for all of us. It was actually the day before we were meant to go to Europe as Blaze Bayley and Absolva. I was meant to be returning from Europe actually today. But unfortunately, yeah, Blaze suffered a heart attack. Luckily, the paramedics got there extremely quickly. They sorted him out, got him over to hospital, and he was in a stable condition and everything. And my father and my brother went to visit him a few days ago, and actually his spirits were very high. His sense of humor remained intact, which was very good. And actually his voice as well, because he's quite a loud person when he speaks. The volume has not changed at all.
Okay.
So it's a good thing. But yeah, unfortunately, he is going to have surgery,
Right.
which he's just on a list at the moment. But like I say, he's in a stable condition. But yeah, the surgery is going to be quite serious, and there's going to be a period of recovery time after that. So it does unfortunately mean that he's probably going to be out of action for most of the year. So that therefore means we have to fill, because for those of you who don't know, Absolva and Blaze Bayley, it's the same band.
Yeah.
So Absolva are going to have to fill quite a lot of time with new tour dates and potentially a new album, which we're working on as we speak. Actually, my brother is on the case, booking a brand new tour for the band for the rest of this year.
Excellent. I mean, you're not exactly lazy, are you? I mean, you play in your own band, you've got your own solo stuff as well, and you support Blaze and in Blaze's band. Do you just not like relaxing?
Yeah, it seems that way. It definitely seems that way. It's weird, really. We just Google Calendar is king. That's for sure. We our lives live off that. If it's like, okay, can I go out this weekend and like open the calendar? No, I cannot. I'm already going on tour with somebody or something. But there was a moment, because the priorities really are the Blaze band and the Absolva band, because that's the thing we're pushing the most. And whenever I see a gap in the calendar, I think, oh, maybe it's either have a break, have a chill out, or maybe start my own projects, really. And that's what I decided to do a few years ago when I started the Luke Appleton solo project, which started off just acoustically, so just my voice and a guy and his guitar, basically. And I did the EP, How Does It Feel to Be Alive? Then the next year, in 2019, I think it was, I did the debut album, Snake Eyes, which was very much acoustically driven with a few other elements and a few other instruments in there. And then, so it felt like a natural time to now present the new CD, Forever Viking, because it's been, I think, 3 years now, 3 or 4 years. So, yeah, it felt like a natural time to do something again with it.
Okay. So what's the premise about Forever Viking? I mean, it's quite a stunning title, shall we say? It's quite an eye-catching title.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the title track, Forever Viking. What's the story behind that?
So Forever Viking, this is by far the most important track for me personally, because it has a very, very big message, and it's also a very big tribute to a friend of mine that sadly passed away in the COVID days. I think it was in the first wave of COVID-19 and everything. And it was a man called Wayne Turnbull. And he absolutely beautiful human being and just amazing soul and everything. And it's absolute pleasure to know him and hang out with him so much. And he passed away. But in my circle of friends in Manchester, he was a Manchester lad. He was known as the Viking, because as amazing of a human being and kind he was a scary guy, because you wouldn't really want to mess with him. He's a man mountain. He had this big old beard, and he was just really built. And it was just kind of like if you ran into him in a dark alley, you'd probably turn around kind of thing. So yeah, but he was always kind of known as the Viking, and he'd always have like the Mjolnir hammer on and everything. So yeah, so when he passed away, it was like, oh, I really want to do something to honor him. And then I was working on this song, and I always wanted to write a song with a Viking theme, and it just felt so perfect. So when I sat down and had the music going, these lyrics just poured out of me. And yeah, so this was basically my tribute to Wayne, who passed away. So yeah.
Okay. But it's not just that one song, is it? I mean, we've got 3 others there. You've got a single out at the moment, yeah?
Yeah, brand new single, which is the first track off the EP, Before Your Eyes, which single music videos on YouTube and everything. And, it's a short, catchy little banging hard rock song, basically. Yeah.
And you just got another couple of tracks, A Thing Called Fate and What Heroes Do, yeah?
That's right. Yeah.
So when is the EP itself going to be released?
Well, officially, the release date is the 14th of April, but I've been in an amazing position, really, because all of the items, the pre-order items, the CD, the T-shirt, the badges, stickers, you name it, they've all arrived like 3 weeks early. So anybody who's actually already pre-ordered the CD, I've just sent it. So people have actually been receiving the CD over the last week or two now. So it does on Spotify, all the streaming platforms, it won't come out until the 14th. But I had it. It's a really nice position, especially with, these days manufacturers take a very long time, especially with vinyl or pressing CDs or anything. So it was a really nice position to be in, to be like, oh, it's like 4 weeks before release date and I've got everything. It felt really good and felt actually kind of prepared. I was waiting for the catch, really.
Yeah, they do seem to have a mind of their own, these vinyl printing companies and whatever.
Yeah.
Style of music, I mean, I don't know quite how to describe it. It's not Absolva, which is good. It's quite your own, almost acoustic, but hard rock at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, would you say that was a fair?
No, I do think it's fair because, we kind of have a hard time describing Absolva's genre and Absolva's sound. I mean, we often, like, our biggest influences at the moment are kind of modern day Saxon accept. Yeah. And of course, Iron Maiden, Metallica is always in there. But if you compare us directly to Iron Maiden and Metallica, I don't think we sound quite like that anymore, even though the influences are there. But now the 3 bands I kind of compare it to is more like Ozzy Osbourne and Blackstone Cherry with a little flavor of Metallica in there. Yeah. And that's kind of what I think. But yeah, it's an interesting one, really, because my brother Chris, who sings for Absolva, our voices are actually quite similar sometimes, but then in other times we're very far apart. Chris has got a bit more of a rasp to it, where my voice is a little smoother. And so, yeah, it was an interesting thing, really. I wrote the songs originally acoustically because back a couple of years ago, I was like, okay, acoustic album number 2. I'll just write some songs. And then I started my own little solo live project called the Luke Appleton Power Trio in, I think it was last year, 2022. And we just did a handful of shows around the UK. And they sounded so good. I got these 2 brilliant musicians, Rishi Mehta from the band Babylon Fire, who's located in Manchester, and Adam Harris on the drums, who's from a band called Dekesis in Birmingham. And they're both fantastic musicians, really good friends of mine. And we got together in the rehearsal room. And I was just like, oh, damn, I've given myself a problem here because this just sounds too good not to do something more with, not to record it. Then we did a few shows and I was like, yeah, this is the direction I'm going to go in now. So Power Trio, 3-piece, hard rock stroke melodic metal kind of thing. And yeah, it was that. It's just then here we are now. So that's kind of how the EP was born.
Wow. Okay. So you're going to be releasing another single off the EP before, well, as it's released, or?
It's probably not. It's probably not going to be before the release date, unfortunately. But I am. We are toying with like going over to Ireland to record a video, potentially for the title track.
Yeah.
My schedule. I mean, before Blaze got ill and everything, I was kind of thinking this is just too much. I've got festivals going on. We're going on tour in Europe and everything. But now the schedule's kind of opened up a little bit. I think that is a little bit more likely.
Okay.
But no, it's just going to be the one single that's already out before it's released, and then I'll focus on pushing the streaming platforms when the album is actually released on the 14th.
Okay. So now that your diary has opened up somewhat, are we likely to see the Power Trio out and about?
Yes, you definitely are. So I actually already booked handful of shows, I'll call them. I think it's growing. It's growing by the day, really, though, which is nice. It's nice to get the offers coming in, which is, a sign of we're doing something right.
Yeah.
So that's nice. So the first show is actually very special. It's going to be SOS Festival in Manchester in July.
Okay.
And so for me, that's kind of like a hometown show, really, because born and raised in Manchester. So that'll be fantastic. And then I've got Savfest in Colville in August. And then we've got a handful of UK shows up and down. I think we're doing Edinburgh, Chester, Birmingham, somewhere else. Yeah. Oh dear. I'm going to be in the doghouse for that one.
No. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
And then we are actually touching on Belgium as well. So hopefully I can expand in Europe a little bit more. So we've got quite a few shows, and the latest shows we announced. So this again is dependent on how Blaze is. We were announced to support Wolfsbane in November and December in Huddersfield and Birmingham. So I'm really fingers crossed Blaze has a speedy recovery and wants to carry on with that tour. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah. It's quite nice to see British bands still invading Europe, as it were. You mentioned Belgium just now. You've got quite a big following in Europe, haven't you? Absolva and Blaze.
Absolutely, yeah. It's continuously growing, really, which is nice because for Absolva, definitely going back to the Fury UK days, which is what the band was before Absolva was born. We did so much over there because we did a tour supporting Icedurf in all of Europe. We've done dates supporting Blaze Bayley in Greece, in Switzerland. We've done dates supporting Michael Schenker in Greece and everything. So we've done a lot over there, and we've done some extensive touring ourselves. And it all kind of started for us in Belgium because we met this wonderful Belgian man called Wiz Beaupré. I want to say back in 2010, 2009, maybe. And he gave us an amazing opportunity. He had his own festival called WizFest, which was a small indoor festival in Belgium, maybe about 500 people. And he gave us a shot, Fury UK, booked us a very, very generous slot. We played it, and loads of people were just like, whoa, who are these guys? This is great. And then it kind of just kept growing and growing. That relationship grew every year. He booked us more shows around the location, and it just kept spreading to other territories, other countries. And then, all these opportunities just kept popping up. So it was a fantastic thing that he did for us back then.
Brilliant. Well, I won't hold you up too much longer. Forever Viking is out in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You can obviously stream it on the platforms. Obviously, you can get the CDs now directly from you straight away, pretty much.
Yep, absolutely. Just go straight to my website, lukeappleton.net, and we'll get you a copy sent out immediately.
Brilliant. Luke, thank you for your time. Wish Blaze a speedy recovery from me and all the listeners, and I wish you the best of luck with the EP, and hopefully I'll see you on the road very soon.
Amazing. Thank you very much for having me, Dave.
No worries.